Take a deep cleansing breath, and anyone that decides to hop on here as well, feel free to state your name. And also feel free to share anything that you have going on at this time if you feel comfortable. All right, so my name is Robin. I am an intuitive healer, psychic. I also am a medium, still figuring that out. I have been practicing Reiki for over, well, I would say it's been 10 years. Okay. I started teaching like about a year after I started doing Reiki. And one of the things that popped up through being a Reiki practitioner, through doing all my training, has been um, like honestly just working on health. Working on health. I would go to a psychic who I actually still go to this day. And when I went to her, she told me that I would start teaching Reiki and that her sister taught Reiki, et cetera, et cetera. And when I did that, I couldn't get over the difference of how my body started to feel when I started doing Reiki healing. So if you're hopping on, I am doing chakra scans. And so one of the things I'm chatting about here, it's just Reiki in general, because if you have any Reiki training, feel free to let me know. If you ever want your Reiki training, you can go to my membership group through horsemanreadings.com under VIP. It's $55.55 a month, and you can catch like all the attunements and all the healing and all the talks and all the extra theta healing and all the things. But Reiki training was something that really helped me in aligning my chakras, which is what we're here to work on. So I'm doing free chakra scans, and what that means is I will, I'm gonna pin my little goal here. I'm learning so many things as I inch my way here on TikTok. I do have a subscription option, so if you want to subscribe, it is like $8 or something. I'm still figuring all that out. But you will always as of right now, always you are guaranteed a reading when you come into this space. So if you have specific questions you want answered, I can do all kinds of different types of healing tools. I don't just do readings, I offer healings as well. So if you happen to want to become a subscriber, then that's something I'm offering. I'm still again figuring out how TikTok works and like how to advertise and all that stuff. Yay, roses! Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So Jen, let's focus specifically on you, okay? Feel free to focus on your own body right now. And one of the things that I'm going to encourage you to do is just breathe in this space, okay? So I'm going to shift on through chakras, okay? So we've got crown, and as I'm working through crown, suffering a little healing here. And then when I go to third eye and crown, okay, one of the things that comes up here is the third eye doesn't feel as aligned with the crown chakra as I would like it to be. Okay, so if you guys want a chakra scan, just say yes. These are free. So what's happening is sometimes when we've had things that have happened to us in the past in relation to spirituality, or maybe you've meditated before and you just feel like you can't, and you're like, you have a negative experience with meditation because it's like it's too hard, that sort of thing. And if you're ever interested in learning about a little bit about meditation anyway, I have a meditation workshop through my beginner membership group through horsemanreadings.com. And so it's some of the things that I have are just more like mindfulness and really beginner stuff is we're talking about breath work. So what can happen is, and this is where I usually add other healing tools, is when your third eye and your crown aren't connecting the way that they could be, it's because of our mindset towards like, oh, maybe I had a bad psychic reading or something like that. Or again, meditation is hard. So my encouragement would be to focus in on having a breakthrough with that. Okay. You know, how can I start looking at these things in ways so that they're more fun, so that I can feel like I'm actually accomplishing what I want. All right. Because sometimes people don't attach spirituality with fun and creativity. Sometimes people think working on their third eye and their intuition is boring. And it's, again, I'm just getting too much work, right? I have a workshop coming up as well called Signs, and woohoo, thank you. It's a 3-night workshop, and so that is going to be recorded also for my VIPs, my membership group through my website, horsemanreadings.com. I did a video already. You can see here underneath my TikTok if you're following. And this is all about learning how to go deeper into your own abilities. And so how can we interpret dreams? How can we interpret numbers? How can we see energy and understand it a little bit better? Not just seeing, hearing, but for some reason that's coming up as well. All right, so we're just kind of doing a little chakra scan there. So if you would like a chakra scan, just say yes. We're just going to kind of like move out of that energy. One thing that I'm getting here in general for everyone is like I'm getting a lot of shoulder tension as a group, okay? So shoulder tension, why do we have shoulder tension? Well, a lot of times we'll carry energy in our body. So I'm also a yoga instructor. Might not look like it, but I actually have my 200 hour and I'm just taking my time with it, doing my 500 hours so I can teach people how to become yoga instructors. And between like Reiki and like meditation and all these different healing tools, as we incorporate like breath into some of our healing practices, it can be helpful. And so what will happen is when we have stress, often we'll clench up, right? We'll hold it in our teeth, we'll hold it in our shoulders, we'll have a tight back or something because we're not feeling as loose as we could. And a lot of times when people are focused on time and money, they will actually have their shoulders more like this, right? And when we do our meditations and when we do breath work and when we open up and we start to trust and we're happier, what will happen is over time, especially if you're doing any type of like healing exercises, we'll learn to open up the shoulders and open up our palms, right? Just like when we do mudras and things like that. And if this is way over your head, it's all good. But the key thing here is, again, if you're looking to let go of stress or tension as a general message, open up those palms. Just open them up, wide open. And what you're going to find is your heart chakra is also going to open because you're going to feel less tense and less stress in through your chest. So again, shallow breathers, people who hang on to things, like people who lack forgiveness, that sort of thing, chances are you're carrying that all around here. Okay, so of course back massages are great. If you go for massages, that's wonderful. But don't forget that we can do that just by being more mindful of where we're carrying energy and of course cleansing. So that's why I wanted to do some chakra scans with you guys today, is to understand, what chakra am I blocked in? Or what chakra am I overactive in? Because we do have different chakras that play a role, as I was already sharing, with the crown and the third eye, right? So again, if we do another general scan, because I don't see anybody asking, for some reason I'm feeling like doing this. And that's kind of my sign or symbol for like body, mind, and spirit. Also recognizing, yes, chakras are energy centers for emotions and spirituality. But as we're talking about the physical body, our posture makes such a difference as well, lining up that spine. So my encouragement would be to take a little imaginary string and pulling the energy up, 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 and just visualizing your chakras even being open can be really helpful. The other thing that's coming through here is if you're not earthing yourself and you're not planting your feet on the ground, that can make a really big difference. If you're a person who kicks your feet up a lot or you're in your head a lot, don't forget that your feet are really important. Your feet actually have chakras in them as well. And that is still related to your root chakra. Yes, Annette. Okay, perfect. So let's take a deep breath together, Annette. If you do become a subscriber here as well, I will do a actual reading for you. You can ask questions. It'll be more interactive. But I'm just kind of like working on being here. So I love that you guys are hopping on here just in general, okay? Free of charge. So, Annette, you have really great energy. One thing that I get is I feel like a lot, when I do a chakra scan on you, I feel like there's a lot of energy going on outside of you versus within you. And so whenever I have a client or someone, or I'm teaching or whatever it is, and I see or feel this, it's often related to needing to use some type of like sound healing to cleanse your energy outside of your body. Usually I have all my tools with me, but I don't today. I'm at my cottage. right here by the ocean. That's gorgeous. And then also, one of the things I've been using is I made myself a little cleansing spray. It's also a little bit of an abundance spray as well. And so we can set the intention or charge things to vibrate certain things, right? So if you don't realize that you've been picking up on other people's energies within and around you, then you don't know that you need to clear it or cleanse it. So my recommendation would be, Annette, I don't know if you smudge or cleanse and how you do that. Reiki is a form of clearing and cleansing, which is great. But having like little smudge sprays, I also sell products as well. So if you're ever interested in me making you a spray, I make tons of stuff that can be really helpful. But for you, I get Palo Santo would also, no, this is all new to me. Okay, perfect. No problem. You found me for a reason. Palo Santo is only $4. I sell it. I sell these like little like sticks that you burn. They're not like an incense. It brings in cleansing and also positive energy, creativity, and health, things like that. So it actually smells really, really nice. Again, just something you burn. You take it and go around you and also within your space. And most people, 90 something percent of the time, are like, oh my God, that's such an uplifting feeling and scent. Very different from like an essential oil. So yeah, feel free to reach out to me if you're interested in like any Palo Santo. I also have a Palo Santo cleansing spray that I make. But I'm getting like rejuvenation for you in particular because again, when we're sensitive to energies, it could be just going into the grocery store, something like that. We don't realize we're picking up on other people's energy if we're not aware that we're like that we're when we're not aware, I guess, of how energy maybe works. Okay. So and if you guys want a chakra scan, just let me know, just say yes. But one of the other things we can do, aside from like Palo Santo, of course, smudging, I do have a blog underneath my link tree. If you click that, you'll see, actually, I do believe I have Palo Santo underneath my shop there, so you can read about it. But I also have a blog talking about how to smudge and why we smudge, things like that. But grounding is another thing as we're doing chakra scans here. Talking about, I guess, cleansing, but also grounding. So cleansing our energy, but grounding the energy, that root chakra, that base is so, so important because when we are grounded, we tend to just, feel things and then like brush it away. Whereas if you're feeling stressed, tired, fatigued, emotionally drained, really worked up about negative things, guess what you are doing? You're more susceptible to feeding off of like other people's negative energies. When there's something going on, again, you're less likely to let it roll off your back, right? So the grounding, for people that don't know, because like I have so many, I have a YouTube channel as well, but like I talk a lot about grounding, but because I'm new here in TikTok, some people don't really know me and all the things I've already done. But grounding in a nutshell is literally eating nuts, seeds, things that come from the earth. When we put that into our body, what it's going to make us feel is the energy of where that comes from, right? Plants, herbs, breath work. Yoga can definitely be a form of grounding if you're doing a type of grounding like that is relaxing for you, of course. So any type of like relaxation practice that is stress relief essentially is going to ground you. Okay. Essential oils are another one. There's just like, I could go into depth, but for some reason I feel like there's someone that needed to hear that. So would you like a little chakra scan? I'm just, you have to say yes. And by doing that, we'll go into yours. I am a Reiki master. I now only have recordings through my horsemanreadings.com underneath members. You're welcome. Underneath my memberships VIP, you'll see like Reiki 1, Reiki 2, Reiki 3, Reiki 4, a Reiki workshop, stuff like that. And the reason why I'm encouraging people to focus a little bit more on this is because it can help you sleep. It can help you when you feel sick. It helps you call in energy to remove negativity, right? So I feel like everybody should just have their Reiki 1, I'm not teaching anymore because I spent a lot of time on that, and now I've just kind of shifted over to more readings and working with clients and teaching programs. But again, if you want to hop into my signs 3-night workshop, thank you very much, guys. Then you're welcome to do that. It's $100 Canadian, and again, the recording will be up for my VIPs. That is going to be how to go deeper into all this stuff that I'm talking about. All right, let's see what else comes up here. Just general messages. I keep hearing through clear audience a couple different things. I'm getting a lot of information here, and what I'm kind of getting is like some people's energies that are being presented here they're getting downloads and they're getting information. They're very intuitive already, but they don't know how to filter like where it's coming from, whose energy it is. They might not have the tools and practices that they need. And so I highly, highly recommend learn as much as you can about energy, how to work with energy, not because it's going to be great for your relationships and your health and other people, but because it's so empowering to be able to know when we're in our head, when we're in our hurt, how to let go of the ego, when we're trusting, when we're not trusting. Is this something that I'm just thinking about, or is this something that I'm really meant to do along my path, right? So it's great to go get readings and like get information from other people, but in an ideal world, you use other people to get readings so that you can just get confirmation on what you're already feeling. It's like, okay, I just need to like double check this because we're not always 1000, right? But also what I'm getting here is consistency and practice is also really, really important. So if you're a person who is like, oh yeah, I do meditations, like I did one like last week, or yeah, I cleanse and smudge. I did that like 2 weeks ago. Well, again, intention is everything. So you can start off your day by just inviting like white light in, saying something like, today I intend to only work with the energy of love, stuff like that. So my suggestion, for some reason this is coming up in my membership group, I also have like healing tools on the 21st of every month. You can email me, here's what I'd like to learn, and then I actually do a video on it, which is amazing. One of the things that I was teaching is actually AM routines, right? Like how to kind of start off our day that will be helpful, because that's what I felt like my people needed to kind of work on. So let me know, do you have an AM routine? And I am here to do chakra scans. So if you happen to be hopping on, you want one, just say yes. Chakras are the 7 main centers in our body along our spine. It's not like a physical thing, it's an energetic thing. It's the energy center that runs boom in the front and in the back and like all around us. So if you've ever heard of an aura, right? The energy outside of ourselves. That's why we're talking about having a little bit of a dirty aura when we're feeling like we're tired, stuff like that. We're more susceptible. So that's why we have to do healings and clearings and create more awareness, because it'll just make us feel lighter, right? I'm afraid to dream these days because my dreams give me messages. Okay, well, that's definitely not something to be afraid of. Okay, easier said than done. I also do a tool called theta healing. And theta healing is where we look into fears and limiting beliefs. So for instance, if, yes, I will like it. Okay, so I will do that for you. So what I can do is like, I have a beautiful dialogue with spirit all the time, with my higher self, with my intuition. I really have practiced that a lot. So one of the things when I set the intention or ask the question, okay, Miss K, why does this person have this like fear, and what chakra is it hanging out in? And I automatically go to the shoulders. So we do have more than 7 chakras, by the way. We have energy centers like all through our body, but these just are our main ones. All right. So when I look at the shoulders, when we're carrying energy around our shoulders, we look at the chakra beside it. Okay. That's called the throat chakra. We also have the heart chakra right there as well. And then we also have the third eye, right? So I'm afraid to dream because you'll get messages, right? So what's coming up here is in a dream, And again, I'm going to be teaching this in my workshop that I'm doing. And also for $11.11, you can take my dream workshop through my website. Okay. And that can be really helpful because we talk about signs and symbols. So what's coming up here is your throat chakra is all about trusting yourself. Trust that it's safe for you to know what's really going on in your heart, right? The other thing that's coming up here is if we've had negative experiences, this already came up at the beginning of the video. If we have had negative experiences with dreams or something like that, then we're going to possibly like think, okay, this is a negative situation, right? So what we want to do is we want to rewire our brain to trusting that there can be something again deeper going on. Why don't we want to look at our truth? Right? Why do we not want to trust ourselves and also look at that? Is it fear of, like, I might find out that somebody's going to die, or I might find out that I need to start managing my money better, or is it that I might have to break up with my partner, whatever it is, right? Dreams are actually our unconscious mind and all these emotions that's getting our attention at nighttime or daytime whenever you're sleeping. And this is when we're in a really, really deep state of relaxation, fear of the reality of the situation. Yes, absolutely. So it's not just when you're dreaming. Like this might happen again throughout your day, awake state too. So when I do theta healing, typically, I go into dream state, which is it's a state that I go into that's a little bit more meditative. It's a deeper, relaxed space. Whereas when we're awake, we're in beta. Okay. So being in beta, awake state, can be exhausting. So it's really, really nice to go into theta brainwave dream state because it's so much more peaceful. So I would really ask myself, why am I scared to get in such a relaxed state that's so peaceful? Do I not feel worthy of being relaxed and being peaceful? And again, I think what you're talking about when you're saying fear of the reality is just fear of actually having to maybe do the work once you see the clarity. Because dreams are really interesting. Dreams are actually just symbolism, right? So if I have, and we can have premonitions too, but if I dream, like I had a dream that I spent like $8,000 on Amazon. Weird dream, right? I have crazy dreams. And then today I'm working with a client. So often when I'm working with people, I'll like kind of hang out in their energy a little bit because there's always a mirror for me, things I'm working on as well. One of the things that this client brought up today was about someone saying that they had a shopping addiction. So I have this dream that I like overspent and spent money that I didn't have on Amazon. And then here's this person telling me a story about somebody saying that they have a shopping addiction. Okay. So does that make sense to you? Maybe not, but to me it does. I'm like, oh, I was just picking up on her money habits, her financial weight that she's carrying. And then not just her, that was a theme today with like both of my clients. Everybody was working on money management, abundance, things like that. Yes, exactly. So what happens in these dreams, and again, this is what I'm going to be working on in my workshop. If you don't want to come in to the interactive on Zoom, then come in as a VIP member, and then you get replays of like my programs, and you get to watch all these videos. And again, email me what type of things you want support with. So for instance, you could email me, I need support with my fears around tapping into my unconscious mind, my unconscious self, because I'm scared I'll find out things that I don't really want to look at, that sort of thing. So that might mean you have your blinders on, might be third eye related, right? But I'm not saying it does, but sometimes when we block our intuition, we might get tension. We might get tension in the shoulders, in the neck, in the back, because literally our physical body will start to feel uncomfortable when there's something that we need to change as well. Okay. So lots of stuff going on there. Again, dreams are such an interesting topic. I find them fascinating. Nightmares are often what we are releasing, and it's actually a positive thing because we're letting go of negativity. We're letting go of things from the past. Sometimes people are scared of nightmares when, again, like a night terror can be an absolutely beautiful thing. It doesn't feel that way, but as a just like if you're detoxing, right? Detoxing is not comfortable, but we do it because we want to let go of negative things in our body. So just something to kind of like food for thought. Okay. So would anybody else like a little chakra scan? Getting a little bit of tension here in my neck as we're speaking about tension in the body. If we have, just from like a energy center standpoint, if we look at neck tension, there's always like emotions underneath physical, by the way, even if you don't believe that. That's what I believe because we're talking about chakras. So where is the neck tension? Throat, right? What does it mean when we have a throat chakra block? We're suppressing our emotions. We're pushing our thoughts and our feelings down. We're scared to trust ourselves, so it's easier for me to not to do than to do. I'm really scared to speak up about something that I'm really passionate about. Fear of judgment. I might get hurt as a result of telling somebody that I love them. It's all uncomfortable, right? So yes, Cindy says, okay, so we'll focus on you. So I just feel like sharing that because look at your physical body. I do like a bunch of little different things around how to move energy in the body just with energy, not just through Reiki, but like little exercises and stuff. Because yeah, there's so much underneath what we're feeling in our body. And a lot of people will complain, oh, I got this back problem. Yeah, okay, but 9 times out of 10, there's a layer to that you're not looking at because you're only focusing on the physical, right? So we've got these people who are really into fitness that are like really, really fit. But when it comes to the emotional layer or understanding some of that, maybe they're a little disconnected. So, and then we have our other times where people are really into the emotions and the spiritual, but again, they might be lacking that physical. So we are not perfect and we are always improving. And I do think it's important to understand all of the components of how everything's interconnected. Okay. That's why I guess I'm meant to talk about this. So Cindy, okay, so right away I go to heart chakra. And for you, I go a little bit down to the solar plexus. And the reason why the solar plexus feels like it's coming up, I don't know if you do breath work. Do you do breath work? Do you do like mindfulness? Anything related to that? By the way, my middle name's Marie as well. No. Okay. So my first recommendation would be to pay more attention to, first of all, I guess how you feel in environments. So whenever the solar plexus is just like a little bit tight, that sort of thing, that's the energy I would explain it. Heart and solar plexus might feel a little closed off. Often it's either we're protecting ourselves when we go into an environment, so we might shut down a little bit because maybe you're sensitive, or it might be just overwhelming for you to be in like really busy places or really public places or around negativity. So my encouragement for you would be to actually do a little bit more grounding work. And we were already talking about grounding work, and I'm just throwing words out there. It's okay if you don't understand. But working on yes, I'm full of anxiety. So do you see how we started with the layer of chest and like basically chest? But one of the things that, again, I teach in my Reiki training online is like in order to there's always like I guess like just like a layer or one thing's attached to something else. So we can't feel rooted and grounded until we deal with this, right? But the way to deal with this is actually by rooting yourself. Okay. So it's kind of like a catch-22 because it's like this won't work unless I do this, but I can't do this without that, right? So it's like they're friends. And so I can see why there's this push and pull sometimes where, like as we were talking about, it's hard to see the truth sometimes, or it's hard to like work on the truth if you're always feeling like nervous or tense or overwhelmed or stressed, right? So it's a big thing is like take the time to strategize, make room for yourself to grow, work on it, work on yourself. I'm sure you're doing that already, but One thing I have going on this week on Thursday and Friday is if you book in a 30-minute reading with me, these are for Akashic Records readings. It doesn't matter if you don't know what that is. You can read about it through my blog, you can learn it through my membership. But if you book in a 30-minute reading, you'll actually get 60 minutes, which is great. So for 55 Canadian, over Zoom, phone, email, or I'll send you a video email. You can get lots of information about going, like, about kind of what we're talking about, how to go deeper into things, but also how to work moving forward. And you can also, if you don't want to work one-on-one, but you want me to send you a video, you can also ask questions. You can also say, this is what I want to work on, which is fabulous, okay? So yeah, highly, highly recommend. When you're working with other people or when you're surrounded by other people, make sure you're like throwing a little white light around you. This is just a visualization technique inviting more unconditional love in so that you aren't judging and you're putting out the energy that you just want love around you. And so it's kind of strange, but just the mindfulness and the intention setting, it's so powerful and it's so effective. So that would be a recommendation I'm suggesting. So Cindy, I also have a in my membership group, Anxiety Bites. That's another little kind of like program workshop I have underneath there. Even if you guys just join for 1 month, it's so worth the money. Obviously, you can stay longer, but just that 1 month, you get like thousands and thousands of dollars of training and healing, which I've invested in with other people, but I love the membership because you can just hop in, get access to it. You don't like it, you leave, but that it's well worth that 1 month that you choose because you can cancel it anytime. I'm kind of like that when I do things. I like to be able to be in the freedom of choice of not being like trapped or stuck in something that I can just sign up, see if I like it. If I don't have to, and it's not a lot of money. So if you would like a chakra scan, feel free to let me know. Just say yes. You can also put your real name if your real name is not already there. I really feel like for our group, as I already shared, general messages, the shoulders are really coming up for people. You're welcome, Cindy. And I think that as I was already sharing, that there are themes when I'm working with people, when I come on and do a video, but it's also like where the energy is. It's not just the people that I'm attracting right now. It's just look at where we are right now. If you know anything about like energy, we're in Mercury retrograde. This is a time where we struggle often with communicating. We use words, but not everybody's hearing us. We might have more conflict with people, especially if we're very triggered, we're feeling tired, but also there are just people that are also triggered that we're around as we were just talking about them. I did an entire video on Mercury retrograde. I don't have it pinned underneath my TikTok, but if you go to my YouTube, you'll see underneath my link tree, you can get access to that, my Mercury retrograde video, just talking about like ways that we can work with this energy, things that might happen, that sort of thing. And also, our new moon is also, I haven't done a new moon video yet. I always do full moons and new moons. One of the things that's going to be coming up with September and like new moon energy is we are walking away from like a lot of heavy energy that the summer has kind of like stirred up. So this fall, what you're going to be finding is that there's going to be like more windfall. There's going to be more coming in at once. And this might not seem peaceful to you, but it's going to depend on where you are. So say you're working on money, then in the fall, you're going to find there's a windfall of money. Say you're working on relationships, there's going to be a lot of like periods this fall where you're like, okay, I need to like call this friend, or I need to do this with this person. So it's going to still depend on where you are, but you're going to find what's coming up, I'm hearing and feeling, is there'll be a windfall this fall, which is interesting. So be prepared for that. As I was talking about, Mercury retrograde is something that we want to be aware that it's coming in. There's a shadow period, which is like a little bit before, a little bit after. Some people feel like that's more intense than the actual Mercury retrograde is. And so some people say, okay, on the 15th of September, we're going to be way out of this. And then other people are like, actually, no, it might hit you even harder. So as I say, prepare yourself, do the cleansing work that I've been talking about. I'm actually going to take this video, the full video, because I'm giving you guys lots of information. I'm going to put that underneath my YouTube channel as well so you can watch the actual full video. That's something sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. I'm also underneath Facebook and Instagram. I have a spiritual support team underneath Facebook, which is just something you can join if you want to get like free knowledge and information. Often when I teach a class, I'll post things in that spiritual group for like homework for people or some suggestions, some, again, just informative stuff that other people can take advantage of, because I feel like knowledge is meant to be shared. So I'm going to give you guys the opportunity, if there are any more people who are looking for a chakra scan, feel free to just say that now in the moment. Just say yes. I feel like I want to do mine while I'm waiting for people, because there are some new people hopping on. For me, what I'm getting, I'm feeling it shoulders, heart, and crown. Keeping in mind, I'm still tuning in to everybody else at the exact same time. So what I get here, and I feel this like heaviness in my chest as well, I'm getting for myself, but again, it's still going to be related to people that choose to connect. I'm getting that as we're talking about this breath work, I'm hearing and feeling to be more aware of not just the subconscious, what's going underneath, but like when you're doing your breath work, to pull the energy out of your physical body at the same time. So Reiki is something, as I was sharing, I feel like everybody should have their Reiki 1 at least. I have that underneath my Horseman Readings membership. So that's something, again, highly recommend get training in. But I'm hearing and feeling to, yeah, tap in when you're doing your breath work and pull it. So like Reiki is something we just take it and we pull. Okay, this is what it looks like. For you, I don't know how you pull energy out of your body, but maybe it's like a detox tea. Maybe it's listening to sound healing in the background. Yes, these are free currently. If you want to join into my subscription that I have here available, my goal is one person. Then I will do like a specific reading for you. Right now, I'm just doing chakra scans. But yeah, in that moment to do a reading, we can kind of do a little bit of everything. I do theta healing, which is a form of essentially pulling old energy out, bringing positive energy in. By setting that intention, I go into theta brainwave, which is dream state. I offer Reiki healing. I help people move energy all around their body and outside. I have a psychology background, so of course then I do a lot of supportive coaching. I'm also psychic medium, so if I choose to, I will go into, I usually just go into whatever spirit wants you to know. But as a medium, I'm still training in that, so I'm kind of like touch and go with when I want to do that and who I want to do that with, because I really want to work with people that I deeply trust with mediumship, because when you're first learning something, it's important, again, that you're working with people that aren't like super judgy and like in lots of pain and that sort of thing, right? So there are times where I open up to that, and times where I'm not open to doing that, and until I feel really confident in it, I don't really offer certain services. But again, if you ask me and I feel comfortable, then I will. Just trying to think here. Akashic Records is something I'm doing a little deal on this Thursday and Friday. It just means that when you book in a 30-minute reading, you get 60 minutes, which is awesome. Those are usually 90, so they're only 55. Just giving people an opportunity to have me go into the records, ask questions. But if there's any like other additional healing that you want, we go into that. Okay. Question. Okay. So we're working on chakra scans. Gaze and maze. Okay. Fate or free will. Do we really have control of our outcome? Okay. So I'm gonna pick Poosh. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly first, just because you're the first one, and then we'll go into that. Okay. So so Poosh, what I get here for you is I feel like sometimes your energy gets really, really low. And because when I look at your chakras, I just feel this like magnetic pull going down. And so, My suggestion for that would be, I don't know if you work with crystals or not. Crystals are something that when I first started doing Reiki training and healing, I thought, oh, I'm just going to get some amethyst for this client. Or I actually started making jewelry like amethyst necklaces and hematite, hello, and things like that because I thought, oh, geez, my client has like anxiety, they have depression, blah, blah, blah. Like they need this stuff, or I'm going to sell them this necklace or give them it or whatever. Just people that were like new and that sort of thing. And then when I discovered the world of crystals, I'm like, holy crap, this is also for me. And crystals are amazing. Into crystal grids, charging things with crystals, right? Like, so making sprays, putting crystals in it, with the full moon, putting my crystals around the window. And there were times where, I felt like, oh, I can't go out or work with a client without like my shielding crystals on because they were helping so much and I didn't realize I was so sensitive. So the reason why that's coming up for you is because if you want to keep your energy up and keep raising your vibration, learn about crystals, work with crystals. Sometimes I'll do crystal healing, putting them over my chakras. Selenite is a beautiful one. I also sell selenite. My selenite sticks are like $8. They're not huge. You can put them in your purse. Selenite crystal is the only crystal that doesn't need to be cleansed and charged, because crystals also pick up, like, they absorb energy like people do, right? So selenite is a cleansing crystal, and it also cleanses other crystals and our home. So a really great go-to. How do you know what? So Cindy is asking. So I'm gonna prioritize everybody. Okay. So days mains. Fate or free will, do we really have control over our outcomes? Well, you're not saying yes to a scan, so I'm definitely not going to go into your energy because you're not giving me permission. But great question. So the whole thing is I'm seeing so many different things coming up in this question because the word control right away is something that I see as ego, right? Underneath my YouTube channel, I do have a video on like heart versus head, like ego versus heart. So one key thing is the more we can let go of our ego, which is all these thinking, right? All the energy stuck in between the third eye and the crown. When we can clear that out and open up our mind and clear out our head, right? I do guided meditations on the 11th of every month if you're a beginner in my membership. So what the whole point here is, so when we clear that energy out, clearing our ear chakra out too, negative things that other people have said to us, this will all be helpful for the ego when we're feeling lighter, when we're feeling more peaceful, when we're not carrying all the weight of other people's stuff around us. We've been talking about the forgiveness work, writing forgiveness letters. When we do that, when we let go of that, that is when everything good will then come to us, when we're not attaching ourselves to outcomes. So do we really have control of our outcomes? So when we drop into that heart space, when we are in a place of love, as we're talking about bringing in that white light, setting intentions to have a positive day, working with these crystals, working with all these healing tools, that's when we will have more control over what we attract into our life. So I'm talking about mindset work. When you drop into your heart, when you come into a loving space, that's when the magic happens. When you are in your ego, and when you are in your head, and when you're constantly in your logical, that is when we actually get in our own way. And that's when we create blocks in our life. So it's believing that you have power over your own life by choosing to be positive, by offering yourself love and support and kindness on a regular basis. And then also that will be the vibe that you're putting out. So yes, we are in control of our energy 1,000,000%. And when you recognize that you are in control of your energy, that's again when the magic happens. So feeling powerless or feeling like you're not in control can sometimes make you want to be in power for the reason of having control. And that's when things get really sticky and icky, in my opinion. But Everybody wants to be in control. That's part of being human. Everybody has an ego. So just recognizing, when are we being judgmental? When are we towards others? When are we judging ourselves, right? So it's doing our best to do the breath work, to come into a relaxed state. That's why the dream work is so, so important. So yeah, you can watch my video that I did around my workshop coming up for next week. You can watch my dream workshop. You can do none of those things, and maybe just take something that I said as what resonates for you and what doesn't. Okay, so back in a few minutes. Sorry, no problem. I didn't even know you were here. You can if you like. Okay, so Cindy, how do you know what are the real ones versus fake ones? So you were talking about crystals. There's an app. There's a bunch of apps. So you can, first of all, take your phone and you can. I actually like to find like quartz and things. I'm like right in front of a beautiful beach with like so many rocks and crystals, and I actually started pulling up shells from the beach and actually some really cool rocks. I'll show you. Like these all have like I just got this off the beach yesterday because I felt like I wanted to do maybe my reading for tomorrow with this one and maybe get a couple other ones. So they all have like minerals in them, right? Obviously we know this is a rock, but it still has healing properties in it. So if I wanted to, like if this had like little, when you look, right, you'll be able to see, like this looks more like a clay, like I'm right across from like the PEI, like this beautiful place with like red sandy clay. You can see like the little sparkle or like in it. And so you can take your app, your phone, it scans the little picture of it, and it'll tell you, okay, that's clear quartz or blah, blah, blah. And you can read about it. So, I mean, you don't have to be a professional crystal lady to know what it is. Because I'm a person who is heavily into this. And people say, oh, what's this? I found this or something. I don't know because I could say something and it could be something else. So definitely if you're buying things online, it doesn't hurt to have that app to make sure that you're not getting ripped off, for sure. So there are like a semi-precious stones and stuff. So like they're not actual like crystals. So yeah, you kind of want to know that. Just like if you're buying like a diamond, you want to know like, is this a fake diamond or is it a real diamond, right? Just really good too. I hope you find that helpful. But a big thing too is like feel the energy of something, right? Feel it. Like I can feel when I put my hand over this that it's not the same feeling as this, right? This is actually blue sandstone. So you can read about it and it says like this is gonna bring you money and this is gonna bring you like opportunities, and you can believe that, right? Or you can just, and I can definitely tell that this one needs to be cleansed, so I actually want to put this in the windowsill just to like get it off of my body, and it's super, super pretty. But I can also set the intention that this starts to vibrate like love and peace, right? And then when I put it back in, I will start to feel love and peace because I'm setting the intention for that too. But clear quartz is actually one that we can program, just like what I was saying. So some are more programmable than others, but you can also feel a crystal and close your eyes, and you might even be able to feel into this crystal. Feel free to put in the comments if you feel anything off of this crystal and what you think of when you look at it. Do you know anything about blue sandstone? I'm getting heart healing, heartache, and heartbreak. I just said it around my heart. So I can read what it's saying, but I also like to just hold on to it and see what it's vibrating. And so this is again another intuitive practice. And this is also, crystals are very, very grounding. So yes, they're great for certain chakras and certain purposes, but in general, all crystals are grounding stones. And the black ones and the dark ones are even more grounding. And then like the clearer ones can be really good for manifesting, for programming. Okay. So I'm doing chakra scan. So if you want one, just say yes. Thank you for the rose. Wow, Cindy says yeah. So it's really good to know. Okay, so Pam, are you still there? And if so, just say yes. Otherwise, we'll move on to the next person. If you want a chakra scan, just say yes. If you join my and become a subscriber, I will do a more in-depth reading. So if you're asking like questions in relation to, where am I going with my career? What should I be attracting? What should I be staying away from? Things like that. And then we can go a little bit further into that. All right. Ganit. Okay, if you could take a really deep breath. All right, I'm going heart, and then I'm going way up here. So first thing that I get for you, heart chakra is all about love. We were already talking about coming into a loving space. I feel like when you drop into your heart, you are like the most loving spiritual person, which is amazing. So my encouragement would be to do that, like reset your energy every like 10 to 15 minutes. And so I know that sounds a little bit weird, but it's just recentering yourself. Underneath my beginner level membership programs that I've been telling you guys about, horsemanreadings.com, you click the link tree. I have a center yourself program. So we do theta healing downloads on like all these different things. So regardless of if you come into that, I'm getting just to reset your energy. It's rebalancing. So whatever can allow you to drop into that love space. I've been giving you guys like little details about ways to do that. I highly recommend that because you really release energy through your crown and your throat by writing, by communicating, by talking, by meditating, by doing spiritual practices, etc. So if anything, I would say that if you just need to like write a couple affirmations down, like I am strong, I am committed to my daily practices, I am abundant, I am a lover of life, whatever it is, I am seizing the day. Just those simple things by like writing those things down could even just reset your energy, bring you back into balance, okay? Okay, so no, you did not miss yours. Okay, Braille, yes. Okay, so for you, I have really bouncy energy. I'm like, okay, stress sticks. I'm feeling it around the shoulders, the neck, a little bit of tension in around here. But I feel like energy sticks to you really quickly. I feel like you're very sensitive. So that just means like when you're stressed, it's like you might be scared that it's gonna like absorb into your life and now you're gonna be like stressed forever. So I'm kind of getting to work on a fear-based mindset. Like I'm scared that I'm gonna become negative, or I'm scared that negative energy is gonna stick to me, stuff like that. So what we want to do is feel like nothing negative can ever hurt us. So I'm not saying to live in a bubble, but it's really allowing yourself to feel like you're in that bubble, that you are safe and that you are connected to the universe and the universe does have your back because it does. So it's just believing and trusting that you're always safe and nothing can hurt you. And when you believe that, that's what will happen. So any type of negative thought-based tendencies, you might want to shift. So accurate. Thank you. You're welcome. And you're welcome. All right. Pam. Okay, we're gonna go to you. Okay, really deep breath. So Pam, you have really strong, powerful energy. So I'm actually getting, for some reason, I'm kind of getting like heart, stomach, and hip. Okay, so my sign for hip is relationships. Makes sense with heart. And then also stomach, also emotional, right? So I feel like you love with all of your heart, which is great. But my suggestion would be to feel really confident in your sense of self and your security. Because I feel like sometimes when we get so caught up in relationships, we lose touch with ourselves a bit. And my energy is telling me to keep you focused on yourself just a tiny bit more. It's interesting that you're like, oh, can I have this little scan? And then wait, I have to go. And now I'm coming back. So something tells me your energy is pulled to something or somebody else, right? So again, make more time for yourself. do more self-love practices, more self-healing. And again, like my Reiki training's all up underneath my site. If you're working with a quartz, I would suggest rose and clear, and then also a little tiger's eye and black onyx. Okay. My readings, my Akashic Records readings on Thursday and Friday this week are, you get double the time for the same price of a 30-minute. In case you're interested in that, that might be something that would be helpful for you. Other self-love practices that I can suggest on your own independent time would be focusing a little bit less on monetary value, money, material things. When you let go of all the things that sometimes we think makes the world go round. I have my Money Blocks program underneath my VIP membership too, which it can be really helpful to get us in that mindset. But it's like the worry and the fear of like money and lack, and as we were already talking about, power and control and things like that. So it's just allowing yourself to focus on the little tiny things in life, right? Like baby things, like my little rock that was free, right? We don't need these like fancy things. We just need to appreciate the baby things. And especially when we're starting off in a new chapter, which I think we all are with this new moon coming in and September, kids going back to school, the weather changing, whatever you have going on. This is a great time to just invite tiny little like gratitude exercises and practices. There is someone watching who's not asking that does have some throat chakra blockages. And when you're first starting, and it doesn't matter where you are, but whenever you're kind of like starting off, I feel like on your spiritual path or starting something new that's spiritual, there's almost always throat chakra stuff coming up because it's like, oh, I'm gonna trust that this is really gonna work out. So it doesn't matter if it's a new relationship, a new job, a new host, a new pet, a new partner, whatever. There's always that little natural bit of fear. It's called healthy fear when we're starting something that's unpredictable. So this is just called change. And this has been coming up in my September reading and my weekly reading and some of the dailies. I'm just feeling like, okay, change is going to happen. Some of these moons that we've been having lately are kind of teaching us how we adapt to change. Do we go into panic mode, or do we trust and have faith? Okay. So I don't see anybody else asking. I see 3 people here. We'll give you guys a minute or so. You're welcome to see if anybody else is here that wants one. Getting a lot of tension in and around my head. So make sure you guys are drinking lots of water, even if you're just coming on here for little things like this. People don't realize when you're working with energy, water can help you integrate information. It can help you raise your vibration. It can help you break down your food. So you could also be doing all the right things. But again, if you're staying dehydrated, that won't help. I don't know why that's coming up for someone, but it's probably me too, because I definitely need to drink a little bit more water. All right, guys. So my signs workshop coming up 12th, 13th, and 14th. You can book through horsemanreadings.com. If you're in Canada, you could e-transfer if that works for you. I'm even doing little payment plans for some people where like money is just something that kind of is not their best asset right now. That's fine. You can pay a little bit here, pay a little bit there. It's going to be recorded for my VIP members, so if that's something you want to take advantage of too, it'll be there. And then my Akashic Records opportunity to get 60 minutes instead of 30 minutes is Thursday, Friday. Just something, it felt like there might be some people that want to learn about the Akashic Records, or they really want to explore that space. I can even teach you a little bit when we go in and get the reading, how to do that for yourself on your own independent time, because I am all about empowering other people, women and men. All right, guys, take care and love you. Bye-bye.